What are you playing with in your world that's really like when you wake up in the morning, you're like, dang, I want to go execute and play with that?
I'm going to answer this sideways because I think there's this idea that we're supposed to be excited about things. And being excited about stuff's great. I'm excited about the idea at some point of maybe putting together a course for a personal trainer, certainly doing a seminar along those lines. I'm excited about, obviously continuing on with the podcast. I'm approaching episode number 500, lifetime across 9 years. I'm excited to write about a lot of the concepts that I think about when it comes to helping fitness professionals. I've been writing on Substack after obviously years of writing for these fitness publications like T Nation and Muscle Fitness. But there's less of that publishing now. I'm excited to train my clients. The podcast, the clients, those are non-negotiables. They're full-time focus, but I don't have the time or the energy to do it all. So the danger is getting excited about too many things can take you off into too many different directions. And the problem's not a lack of excitement about ideas. The problem can usually constraint is execution, doing several of the things really well. And I don't think most people can even do several of the things. It's books like Essentialism are the one thing where most people would probably benefit from getting singularly focused on doing the core business thing, the core service thing extremely well, or one extension of it, which I'm a big believer in long form media, whether it's podcast, writing, to build depth of what you can share with people. Social media, it's fun, it's annoying. I've played the game, I've grown on it. I love the interaction when I get messages and genuine interaction with people. Thinking of something short and pithy to say to get engagement is exhausting and something that I've grown to almost disdain while understanding the greater mission. And I just don't have the time or interest in getting very deep into, video editing and all these other sort of things to become this viral chasing social media influencer. That sickens me. But I also have to guard against my own narratives about why I don't do things that might actually have some value, just doing them well, presenting evidence, being smart about all this stuff. There's a lot there. But I think to the core of your question, I remain excited about the core things I do every day. I love training clients. I have some clients after this episode. I do enjoy writing when I have great ideas. But oftentimes the idea volume is greater than my capacity to actually do it all. And therefore, sometimes I don't, I've been thinking about this course for a couple of years and I have a lot of notes, but I haven't actually executed on it. And then part of it is as well is recognizing, why am I excited about these things? Why am I doing these things? Is it because I genuinely want to go down this road and all of the hard work that's involved in it? Or is it because I look around at my friends and peers who I cherry pick the examples where they've built this thing and they gain status within the industry because they are viewed as elite coaches across the industry? Do I really need the industry? Do I need to perform for the industry to have their approval? And I had this conversation with my friend Jason Brown, fellow T Nation writer, not terribly long ago. He's great. And Jason had built this course, his functional conjugate programming course is really good. He's a smart guy, finishing up his PhD, wrote a book last year. He's got an incredible capacity for work. And he built this course, put a lot of work into it. And then he shut it all down because there was stress and conflict in promoting it. And when that's kind of eating at you, and he'll talk a lot about nervous system dysregulation that he's experienced, and he's even been open about his own heart electrical issues. When there's an incongruence between the things you think you're supposed to do for status within the industry, and I think that's an oversimplified lens, but it kind of is, and you got people pulling you in different directions versus what you love and enjoy. You have to kind of question, why am I excited about this idea? So it's a very long-winded thing, but it's something I challenge myself anytime I get new ideas. I'm like, am I doing this for the right reasons? I like the way you described that, man.
It gave us a little peek behind the curtain as to how your mind works a little bit. I can't help but lean into Rick Rubin, who's a famous music producer. You're probably familiar with him a little bit, big beard. And he often talks about, yeah, he's phenomenal.
His
One
book,
of the
The
most
Creative Act, is
talented
great.
people within the artistry industry. What I'm hearing in relation to what you're saying and what Jason has said is it's a little bit backwards within strength and conditioning and within fitness and wellness, which is you're almost observing what's market value, what's out there, what's needed. How do I take my skill set and create something that's going to monetize? And then when you create something that's probably very valuable, like Jason's coaching program, something that you're in pursuit of potentially making, then you're like, oh shit, like the value is not the value until I promote it, until I market it. And now it becomes this skill set that's like, hey, I'm not really qualified, maybe is the right word. Maybe it's not the right word. It's like, I didn't go to school for marketing. I didn't go to school for social media management. I went to school to like help people. I went to school to understand energy systems and exercise selection. And now you're asking me to sharpen the sword on this skill set in a completely different arena that feels exhausting and fake. And it's just like, when you look at social media, it's one of my biggest struggles is that I genuinely care about people. I don't care that much about faking it on social media. It's part of the reason why I love podcasts and I don't love holding up the phone and talking to it each day, because it feels like a facade. It's like, man, 30 seconds is not enough time for me to say what I really want to say. Now I feel rushed. Now I feel like I can't give you honesty. Now I feel like I have to like be performative. And so what I'm hearing is that like Rick Rubin said it perfectly. Don't make it for them. Make it for you.
So there's a flip to what you just said and what I said that led to this is, and I think through the lens of narratives versus objective truth. Gravity, as we experience it as a concept in physics, is an objective truth. We walk outside, you're not going to float off of the earth. But almost everything else that we think, believe, all the stories we tell ourselves, are constructs of the world that we grew up in, the indoctrination in culture that we experienced growing up. And it's not to say it's necessarily all bad. If you get into James Clear's Atomic Habits and Identity, he does a very good job of talking about that. You can craft an identity through choices and actions, certainly beliefs, and work at it to shape an identity. Then it's much easier to bypass willpower by acting in line with your identity. If you have the identity as someone who is fit, who eats healthy, then those choices are much more in line with your identity. Therefore, it does not fatigue your willpower in the way that we've traditionally thought about willpower fatigue. Whether the evidence bears that out to be true or not, that's kind of irrelevant. But when it comes to fitness professionals, how many fitness professionals will say just what you did there, because you're talking philosophically? Well, I love helping people, but I don't like the media side of stuff. I don't like the marketing side of stuff. That becomes it's a false dichotomy, because a lot of the best people in the industry aren't salesy, aren't misleading, don't lie, don't do any of the things that we might attribute. It's like the caricature of the used car salesman when a young new trainer says, well, I don't like to sell, and just hope that just by being a trainer, people show up your door. When in fact, if you love what you do and believe in what you do, then you 100%. Don't have to sell. It just shines through. You talk to people, listen to people, ask questions, and then people are going to say that this is the person I want to work with. So you kind of bypass any of the salesmanship that we traditionally think of when it comes to sales. So what I often will do is, if somebody has crafted a narrative, even if the narrative is serving you, I still challenge it and question it and go, all right, this is not an objective, unfalsifiable reality. This is a construct in my mind about how I view the world. If it's serving me, great. Sure, be open to the idea. What is it? Strong beliefs loosely held, I think is one of the phrases, where if an identity, if a belief, if a story, if a narrative stops serving you, you be willing to allow yourself to let go of it or change it. And again, in the fitness professional side of stuff, and I don't know if your audience is more fitness professionals or more enthusiasts, but I think this applies to almost anything. You can do a wonderful job of saying, well, the people on social media, well, they're all influencers and they're all unethical and they're all performing for the camera, and that is bad, and I am good, and I am not going to resort to doing any of those things. And therefore, I am morally pure and better than those people while struggling in the business, not achieving goals and ambitions, not getting out there. And you can look at countless examples of smart, ethical, evidence-based, good people in the industry. Jordan Syatt is a wonderful example. He's got over 1 million Instagram followers, genuine human being. He'll play at being controversial in social media posts, but he's not. He's very grounded in good science and empathy. And there's countless examples just like him. I don't think Jordan's ever cut any corners, but I think Jordan is one of the people who decided, and again, he trained Gary Vaynerchuk, right? Gary V, who's obviously one of the leading thinkers, practitioners of social media strategy. And Jordan obviously absorbed lessons from there, but Jordan ultimately leaned in, developed the skill set, became very good at it, clearly did not have any narratives holding him back and saying this is a bad thing. And he's built an incredible life for himself. Now, that's not what everybody wants to do. And for me, I don't want the level of what I feel like is overexposure. This is also a narrative, but I'm aware of it, where you get so public facing and so visible. Figures like Dr. Lane Norton, right? He's one of my favorite all-time people in the industry. Lane has got a very big personality that calls out a lot of rubbish, but that means that a lot of nasty shit comes back his way. And that, to me, is not something I think I want in my life. It's, again, a narrative that I choose to avoid maybe doing the things I would need to do to achieve that. And I think that's what most people do. But it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm wrong in saying, hey, I don't think my mental health well-being would do well. My emotional regulation would do well, being that ever-present, having the world kind of know my face, and having a legion of people who spend their time trying to attack me online. That doesn't. I like the way you describe
that. It just shows the different perceptual positions that you have. Your lenses on the world, other people's lenses on the world, your lenses through their eyes, a bird's eye view, or as if we're watching things on a movie. So that way you definitely process, orient yourself, and make the appropriate decisions that set your heart on fire and also allow you to live a beautiful life. Because like you, I like Jordan Syatt, by the way. He puts out some really cool content. Big fan. There's a lot of great leaders out there that do a great job on social media, and I don't knock them by any means. The challenge is a little bit, for me, when people are constantly videoing every last thing and they're not trying to add value, they're trying to add more entertainment. And I think that's an interesting dichotomy to look at that through. And I don't have this all or nothing thinking like all influencers are bad, all coaches are good. It's just an observation, especially being in San Diego. It's a beach town. There's a lot of shirts off. There's a lot of skin showing just because it's beautiful 360 out of 365 days out of the year. And so it's just a notice within the space that I would love for people's intention to be, hey, let's connect, let's play, let's get you in the gym, let's push you on the moments and the days and the seasons where you're able to be pushed, and let's pull you back a little bit. Let's have honest conversations around empathy and compassion and injuries and the peaks and valleys of the human experience. And let's be REAL over REEL. Let's not just make it for entertainment purposes. And if you provide a few videos of entertainment, totally cool. I just want the intentions to be there. And I think it's coming back to that. I mean, I don't know if you feel this within the industry, man, but like IRL is coming back in real life. People want to have these types of conversations. People are craving community. People are craving connection. People are wanting the blockbuster days. They want to go on bike rides. They're seeing run clubs kind of come around again. What are your thoughts on genuine human connection within the fitness industry? That's not comparative culture. It's not judgment. It's just hey, I see you and you see me, and let's have this cool conversation and connection.